let me point out, today we're talking about matrix multiplication. Tomorrow we're also discussing matrix multiplication. One of the things you can use matrix multiplication for, amongst many others, you're going to use it a lot this year for solving systems. Okay, but they also use it when you're dealing with codes and ciphers and stuff. So one of the things I want to try this year, and I haven't done this before, is I want to talk to you about how you come up with your license number or permit number. Now, how many of you have a permit? Raise your hand. Okay, Connor, you have a permit. Do you have it with you?
No.
Okay. All right, well, you can check it later. I have a license. I've done this with my license. Eli and I, as we were sitting in the Taco Bell drive-thru the other day, it was amazing. It was an amazing discussion. We were talking about driving because, you know, when you spend 10 minutes there because they were kind of slower, we started talking about driving and driver's licenses, and it was more me geeking out over it than Eli, but he kind of got into it. So I started discussing about how your driver's licenses are put together. So you're going to have a driver's license assigned to you, a number, and we're going to predict what that number is right now. Okay, you're going to predict what your driver's license or your permit number is going to be. How many are going to get your license or permit in the next year? Okay, you'll be able to check it. So put it somewhere safe. Maybe you'll put it on top of your portfolio page or inside your portfolio, so next year you'll be like, oh, was I right? And you're like, oh, yeah, or oh, I was 1 digit off, oh, or a couple digits off, because you'll see in this that that's how it could go. Okay, so let's come up. Since I don't want to use my name and put all my information out here, let's use a fake name, and let's use an easy name, not like a name that I don't know how to spell and stuff. Okay, so raise your hand, please, a first name. Yes? Juan. Like Juan. Juan. Okay, last name. Yes. King. Juan King. Okay, Juan King. Very good. Now, I've never had to use the asterisk, but we'll have to here, and you'll see why. When was Juan King born? Yes.
January 17th, 1999.
Okay, 05/17/1999. Okay, that was Juan's date of birth. Okay, Juan King's date of birth. Now, Juan needs a middle name. I forgot to give us. Yes. Juan George. And it's almost like King George. Okay, Juan George King. Okay, so this is his middle initial. I forgot to add that in there. Juan George King. Okay, your license plate number, or excuse me, your driver's license number has a pattern that is deciphered. Now, let me give you this piece here. This is the format of your driver's license number. Now, let me explain exactly what that means. Okay? No, if it will focus. Let's try to get it focused. Okay. The L stand for last name, first 5 letters of your last name. Now, we'll get to it if you don't have 5 letters in your last name. The F stands for first name. The M stands for middle initial. This stands for year. X is a special code. M and D also are special pattern codes. Okay? So, for Juan, if we're using this, and let me just write it out here. So L, 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 F, M, Y, Y, X, M, D. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. That is the pattern. That's the pattern deciphered. Okay, so to find out your number, let's figure out Juan's. We'll apply it to Juan's. And you can apply it to yours as we go if you want. So you take the first 5 letters of your last name. For instance, Juan, that would be King. K-I-N and G. Now, Not everyone has 5 letters, so if you don't have 5 letters, you fill in with an asterisk. That's why some people's license numbers would have asterisks in them. So Juan King, okay, has an asterisk there for that last letter. So for instance, McCoy, with my first 5 letters of my driver's license are MCCOY. Okay? Then you have the first letter of his first name. So J. Okay? And then first letter of his middle name, G. So right now, everyone should know the first 7 digits of your license, of your driver's license number. Okay? Mine would be MCCOY SP. Now, Mark, my actual name I go by, is my second middle name. It has nothing to do with my license number. Okay? They consider Saint my first name. Dude, pretty sweet, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Okay? So, King, asterisk, JG. Y stands for the year you were born subtracted from 100.
1.
Okay? So, for instance, Juan, if you think the year he was born is 99, you'd have 100 minus 99 equals 1. That's kind of funny. All right. Now it'd be 0, 1, okay, for 1. That's pretty interesting.
That's coincidental.
Very coincidental. Now, how many of you have 1 there? 0, 1. That's 2 digit. How many have 0, 2? How many have 0, 0? How many were born in 2000? 0, 0. Wow. Now, you guys, I'll be honest, this is the first year I've done this, so I'm not sure if the year 2000 will be 0. I assume it's 0, 0. Okay? I assume that's what it'll be, is 0, 0. But test it. I mean, Connor, what year were you born?
99.
Okay, so we won't know that. I guess we wouldn't know that for a while, for those of you who were born in 0, 0. But 0, 0 for now, okay? The X, this is when it starts getting, I knew all of this. This is where Eli and I were starting. I was like, yeah, your driver's license number would be blah, 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 blah. And we got to here, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what those last ones mean. I think they mean this. And so I was looking things up, and I was checking things out, and I found a few different websites that told me it. Now, the X stands for a checksum. That'll be the last thing we calculate. Okay, so we just kind of circle that. I'm going to put a big circle right there, right now. We'll calculate that very last. It's called a checksum. We use a cipher for that. It's a mod 10. Yeah, it's something they use, like for bank cards. Okay, a lot of math is involved in keeping your account information is secure. Okay, there's a cipher for that. So we'll go through that. The next, the M, the little m there, is your month of birth. Now, they actually assign letters for your month of birth. For instance, I was born in November. So my birth month, I could either have a Q or an 8 in that position. So this is where it could change. So like if you're born in December, it could be R, but it could be 9. The first is what they assign you. That's like the first choice. If there's someone who has the exact driver's license number as you up to that point, then they go to the second. If there's more than 2, I don't know what they do. I mean, maybe you just don't get a license. I don't know. Okay? So, for instance, I'd have a Q there. Okay? So, what you need to do right now is figure out what your first would be, and if you want to write down the second, you could. Okay? So my first would be Q, my second would be 8. Okay, for Juan, his first, he's in May. Juan's would be K. He could also possibly have a 2 in that position. Okay? We with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Juan has, we're going to put a K right here. Could be a 2, but it might be a K. Okay, and then the D stands for, it's a code for the date of birth. So, for instance, here's your date of birth. Now, I don't have them all here, but here's A, B, C, and then Okay, so if yours is up there, go ahead and look at it. What was Juan's? Juan's was 17. His isn't up there. So if you see yours up there, write down your code. So like the third would be C. Okay? All right, the next one. So notice it doesn't go in a straight linear pattern there. Okay, there's the next. All right, so like mine's the fourth, so I'd have a D there. Okay? Yes?
What is number 20?
Number 20 right here.
What is number 20?
Number 20 is 0. The number 0, not letter O.
2 errors, nada. So sad.
Okay? All right. So, for instance, Juan is 17, so he is P. So Juan's, I hope there's no Juan out there. Okay? No Juan. I know there's people. I didn't mean it like that either. Okay? So I just for the sake of remembering, this is a 0. I'm going to put a slash through it. Now, that means something different in math. Those of you who put slashes through your 0, you may want to stop doing that eventually. It means the null set. But for now, we're just going to call it 0 like that. Okay? So this x is the only thing we don't have. That's called our checksum. Okay? And these things, like this letter K that could have changed, it's going to affect the checksum. So these two things could change, right? This could have been an 8, which will affect that. All right, so there's this big formula that we use to come up with that last digit. That is it right there. Okay, so everyone write that formula down. L1 minus L2 plus L3 minus L4 plus L5 minus F plus M minus Y1 plus Y2 minus little m, this is the little m, the second m, plus D. Mod 10 just means that's the type of cipher they're using there. Okay. All right. That is our checksum. So for instance, for Juan, who we have, I'm going to rewrite it here. It should be L1 minus L2. Can you guys see that? Yep. Plus L3 minus L4 plus L5 minus F plus M minus Y1 plus Y2. Okay. So with that being said, L1, we have to actually have values for these things. Now, let me see if I can get both of these on the same page. All right, the values of your letters. In order to make this work, you need to know that that is what, for this cipher, your letters and numbers, your letters have been assigned a value. So if you have a letter A, it's a value of 1. If you have a letter B, it's a value of 2. If it's a letter C, it's a value of 3, and so on. Letter U is a value of 4. Letter M is a value of 4. Asterisk is a value of 4. So when we're putting it into this checksum up here, into this formula, we're using these values. Okay? Yeah?
What would the star represent?
4. Asterisk, yeah. Okay? So what you need to do, if you're calculating this for yours, you'd be looking at your last name. So I'd be spelling out MCCOY. M would be 1, so I'd have to find M. That would be a 4, so it would be 4 minus C, which is 3, plus 3, minus O, which is 6, plus Y, which is 5, or plus Y, which is 8. Okay? So if you want to know your value, go ahead and calculate it out there. Look at your name. Okay? Let me do this for Juan's, okay? You can't get -10, I hope.
What's your M?
All right, I'm gonna zoom out just a bit here to try to make it.
Minus your first initial.
7.
So L1 for king, K is letter 2, or number 2, excuse me. So let me write the actual letters here. So K, I, N, G, asterisk, F is J, G, 0, 1, and then K, P. So they take everything we currently have and they assign values to it, and that helps you to find that last digit. So K would be
2.
2, thank you. I is 9, N
5.
5,
7.
7,
1.
4, 1,
Yeah.
G
7.
7, then
0. 1.
0, 1, K is 2 again,
Yeah.
and is that a P? What do we have there?
7.
P is 7. Okay, thank you. All right, so 2 minus 9, negative 7, plus 5 is negative 2, plus 7, or minus 7 is negative 9, plus 4, negative 5, negative 6, positive 1, 0, minus 2, negative 2, plus 7 is 5. Yes? If it shouldn't be a double digit, should be a single digit. Shouldn't be a double digit. You put a 5 in here, that is Mr. Juan King's license number. Shouldn't be negative. Double check it. All right. We'll pause there for a minute. It cannot be a negative digit. It can be a double digit. My apologies. If you got, for instance, someone give me their double digit. 10. If you got 10, you just take the second digit. So it's 0. My fault. That's what the mod 10 means. You're taking that second digit. Yes?
Can you show the month and day again, real quick?
With the what?
The month and day.
Oh, the code for it? Yep, real quick, and then we got to move on. Otherwise, we're not going to get through anything today. All right. There's the month. Okay, and here's the date.
So you just put the what you
Yeah, hold on. That's not the date. Here's the date.
put what you got in the formula in your little bubble.
Yep, you put whatever number you got into that little bubble. Hey, and that's how we find our driver's license number, using codes, man. Isn't that cool?
That is a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, but